This movie is stupid, but it's so great at the same time. It's so campy and ridiculous, you can't help but watch and wonder, why does the card have teeth? Alright, we're back again, and today we're looking at Killer Cart, which is exactly what it sounds like, a killer shopping cart. So, it can be a shopping cart from any place you go to, any market, supermarket, grocery store like that, and it could be a killer, so you just never know. And in my day, when I used to hunt monsters, they used to be inanimate objects as well most of the time, but they weren't outrageous things like pizza, shopping carts, piñatas, and things of that sort. But hey, I don't know. What do I know? I might encounter a killer football or basketball one of these days, so we'll see. If you like what I do, please subscribe and click on the bell to be notified every time we upload a new video. Anyways, on to the movie. I hope it's dreadful.
Attention Victory shoppers, the time is now 10 o'clock and the store is now closed. Please bring all your items to the front. To the front?
First night as closing manager and you break the phone.
Anyways, that should be the last customer.
So we started out at the end of the night at a grocery store. The employees are cleaning up, letting people know over the phone that the store's closing. And then the phone cuts out, it gets all staticky, and so I'm guessing that's the first signal that we get that something's gonna go down.
The phone just broke.
Better get your shit together, old man. My paper feeder's been jamming all day.
Yeah? Proven fact that receipt paper tends to act finicky around sluts.
Oh. Oh, okay. So, you can't do that anymore, And so, this movie was posted 6 years ago. I mean, I know things change all the time, but I think that 6 years ago, even a few years ago, you can't be telling other people, coworkers, things like that because you'll definitely get the boot. But hey, I guess that happens here.
Jerk. I'm gonna take 5. Jesus.
Asshole.
Are you off to sexy?
Bathroom. Hot, right?
Oh, very.
Stop, not here. I'm not gonna be the first manager to be written up by Hale for making out by the cookies.
He's a dick.
No, he's just... Okay, yeah, he is. I don't know, it's just... I think... There's a lot of years there, and... they weren't all good.
No, whatever. Look, my only concern is that this weekend my parents are in Foxwood, so you're coming over, right?
I'm looking forward to
Good.
it. Stop it! I have to pee.
So she goes to the bathroom and the power goes out, and so she gets up, I guess, to go wash her hands and, attend to the lights, but the power goes back on, but at the same time, her phone falls into the toilet.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so she goes back to her post and sees that there is money left out of the register, so she goes to use the phone to call the other employee that's in charge of the cash register, and the phone is staticking again, so that can only mean one thing. That you didn't pay your bill.
You guys, this isn't funny.
But yeah, she goes looking around for other coworkers, and then there's one that goes crazy and starts yelling and, I guess in fear. And so then the main character, she gets concerned and starts yelling too. She goes outside to look for help. and sees one of the other employees all hacked up and everything and lying on the floor in the parking lot. And so now she starts screaming too, because obviously she's realizing now that there's something not right, and then there's something out on the loose.
It's coming.
Who's coming?
Hide!
The thing with movies like this, okay, it's like, even if you do your best to make it good, it can be good, yes, it can, but there's always gonna be that camp or that ridiculous factor, because it's a cart, but it's ridiculous, and so you'll never be able to get a full serious like feeling from watching movies like this, because even if they're made well, it will still have that outrageous kind of scenario, outrageous premise that it's a object, because when you watch Halloween, it's a person that's walking around town hacking people up because he's evil. And so that happens in real life. There are real people out there that do things like that, so it's presented as a serious movie. But if you replace Michael Myers or Freddy Krueger or Jason, or even, let's say, Norman Bates, anything like that, you replace these characters with a football or a shopping cart or a piñata or a sillon or whatever like that, you replace these characters with that, it automatically, without having to do anything, already becomes camp. And that's great. I love that. Even if the movie is not horrendous, I still need some of that to regain my energy, and I'm already getting it so far from a movie like this. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, this is what I need. I have to keep pausing it because it's so absolutely outrageous. Like, really, I'm not joking. It's outrageous. It really is. I wasn't expecting that. I really wasn't. I thought the car was gonna run people over, like I said, or hit them or something. I really did not expect it for it to have a mouth and basically chew people up. Don't tell me that guy is gonna be the hero of the movie that destroys the shopping cart. They couldn't have chosen a guy that was like not asshole, but hey, whatever. But the shopping cart is roaming around the grocery store, after chewing up the other guy, and so the main girl runs inside to get away from it. And it doesn't look like fake or anything. It doesn't look like the shopping cart is being pulled by a string or somebody's hiding and pushing it or anything like that. Well, obviously it looks fake. It actually looks good. So far the thing that has made this movie is the damn cart with the chompers. Like, really, I did not expect that. Like, that is what made the movie for me go from a good movie to like, man, to a whole other place. A little bit of Jurassic Park parody there, The cart, it's just you can't take the cart seriously, but that's what makes it work because the movie is not horrible. The cart is what makes it in that same category as horrible movies like Killer Sofa, because even though the movie so far is not horrible, the camp factor is done by the cart. If this movie was just like some guy in the hood, it wouldn't be as interesting. It has to be those carts, it has to be those piñatas, it has to be those kinds of things.
I'm sorry, kid, but if you want to stay alive, just do as I say, okay? Breathe. Breathe.
How tough is this shopping cart? Now it's doing what I was talking before, where it's like ramming into things, which, yeah, it can do that and all that's fine. But how tough for this shopping cart that it's throwing itself against a very heavy, metal door, and the whole door room is shaking and like that. It must be one hell of a cart. The acting is not like that bad, but it's kind of not very good either. So we're coming to our first area of bad movie syndrome, which is the bad acting. And so we'll see. We'll keep looking to see. But they're talking back and forth. It's like, well, why is it? Why are we dead? Why is it trying to get us? Why it just So we're coming up to like our first instance of a bad movie trope.
Why? Why?
They're killers. All of them. They might not always strike, but they always want to.
The killers? Since when? Like, okay, okay. So if he's saying that the shopping carts are killers, and he's known about the shopping carts being killers, why the hell is he still working at the grocery store?
They devote their existence to shoppers, and what do they get in return? Abused, mistreated, hit by cars because people can't walk the 10 feet to put them back in their proper place. They're stolen by homeless, raced by drunk teens. And well, every once in a while, one just snaps.
What are you talking about?
I'd heard the stories. Even been around long enough to be damn sure I'd seen some shit. But honestly, I don't know that I even really believed it until tonight.
This is insane. You're insane.
Am I? Trust your eyes, Cass. You saw it. I suppose it's just us left now.
Bailey,
What?
I think Bailey's still out there.
Jesus. I thought she'd be the first to go. To put her back in the proper place.
Yeah, I'm sure that was a jab at people, that don't return the carts, Yeah, so this guy is so far. This guy definitely is the one that has the worst acting. The acting in the other characters is not bad, but now we're getting to the part where we gotta have something bad, and this is it. The acting is starting to get a little shaky there. Just the acting of this guy, it's again, it reminds me of one of those instances where you're making a movie and then you need actors like, oh man, like who we're gonna get? Hey, Uncle Jim, I want to be in the movie. Oh sure, and it's like, I have no acting experience. Well, even better. And they come into the set and then he's like, here we go, the lines, and then with no rehearsal, nothing, no experience, and sometimes you gotta do that, but it definitely shows here. So they go out into the grocery store area to save the other friend that's out there, Bailey, and they see her there, but before you know it, the evil cart comes flying from the sky and chomps at her and eats her, and so that's the end of her. With so much food at the grocery store, why does it want to eat people? I'm sure they taste like shit. There's pasta and things there, and cake and pitas and who knows what else, and Cuban sandwiches and all kinds of stuff, but it wants to eat people? I mean, you ever tasted your skin when you're sweating? It's salty and nasty. Why would I want to do that? But hey, I'm not a cart, so I don't know. this could be dangerous. Look at his little murder mittens and his little murder teeth. This can be dangerous. But a cart, it's those crazy things. Like, where do they get these ideas from? Please bring more, because this is I never thought I would see a Killer Cart movie. I mean, you know, now that I've seen it, I need more. I need Killer Cart 2, Killer Cart 3, Killer Cart 4. I need, you know, Killer Mangoes. I need, you know, I never thought that something ridiculous like this can actually be not horrible and very entertaining. Also, I'm having a great time. Oh, they're gonna Terminator it. They're gonna lead it to where the hydraulic press is at and crush it to death. Yeah, so they leave the cart outside and they go to, I guess, what looks like some kind of hydraulic press. She goes into the car, hits the cart with the car to push it into the press, and then she goes with, it looks like a chainsaw or some kind of thing like that, and she goes to try to cut the cart up, which I don't think is gonna work, but she tries anyways. And then she closes the door and then hopes that that will be the end of it.
Run! Get out of here!
No, we beat it.
Yeah, like Terminator, the first one, where it goes into the press and then it smashes them up. And again, for a metal object like this, what can you really do to it? You can't cut it up with the chainsaw. You can't set it on fire. I mean, you could, but it's going to take a lot of work. You can't throw it into the river. It's going to come back right out again. What can you do? I mean, really, the only thing you can do is just crush it.
No! It's only the beginning.
It's only the beginning. Killer Cart 2, Killer Cart 3, Killer Cart 4. Give me the Killer Carts. It's been 6 years already, and there's no other Killer Carts. What's going on? It wasn't horrible. I can't believe it. And it again, what makes it is the camp factor caused by the carts. And that ending actually was good. Like, it was kind of terrifying. The fact that all the carts come to life. Wherever you go, there's carts. I mean, everywhere you go, there's carts. And it's just one of those things like zombies, you know. It's like the realization, like, oh, man, everybody's a zombie now. What are you going to do? Where can you go? Where can you hide? They're going to go after you, you know. And it was good. I can't believe it. Yeah, so that was Killer Cart. As far as I know, there's no second or third one. I need them. I need them. And so, yeah, that was good. We are going to rate this movie with this chart. We will discuss the form, the elements, the fun factor, and the quality factor. The fun factor measures how much fun this movie is, and the quality factor measures the overall quality of the movie and how this movie did things better, worse, or about the same in comparison to other movies in the same genre. All the points added up equal to 10. When we rate bad movies, we don't want to use a traditional 0 to 10 rating. We use 0 to -10. 0 being the most boring, uninteresting, and unmemorable bad movies. -10 being the best bad movies you can think of. Howard the Duck, The Room, and things like that. These movies are legendarily bad and extremely entertaining. The closer we get to -10, the more fun, campy, and ridiculous the movie is. As we go along the chart, when there is something negative, we discount points, bringing us closer to -10. And when there is something good, we just leave it alone and don't do anything. Okay, so for its form, is it realistic? Well, again, realistic, meaning like do the people behave in a realistic manner, but they do actually. Yes, they do. That's never been the case so far, really, where people behave in a realistic manner. There's always at least one or two little things where they mess up, where it's like they behave in a way that's not realistic. They do or say something that's not, or like somebody in real life would. But no, that's not the case. Everybody behaves realistically, and the acting of that guy was, kind of shaky, but that doesn't mean that they didn't behave in realistic ways. They did, which is surprising. Was it coherent? Yes, also it was coherent. There was nothing that threw you off. Even if it was like a little thing, like in the Killer Pizza, there was, in terms of coherence, there was at least a little bit like that didn't make sense. Like, why, if you knew pizzas were killing people, would you still eat pizza? But in something like this, no, everything was coherent, so it was good. In terms of themes, it's not complex, but in terms of how it was executed, like visually, it actually was. There was a lot of shots in here that were done very well. The coloring was very good. It didn't have that nasty yellow kind of tint that I personally don't like. The shot composition was actually very good. It's original. It's not original, but that doesn't matter because that's not the point of this. And so now for the elements, the direction of the movie, for the most part, was okay, but it did need a little bit of work. There were a few parts where it seemed like the actors were not sure how to express certain things correctly. And from the long-haired guy, it just seemed like he was trying his best, but it wasn't really going too well. It just seemed very wooden and very forced. And there is overlap between direction and acting, but it just seems like if the direction was a little bit clearer or a little bit more effective, a better performance could have been done. So we had to discount from there. The writing was mostly good, but again, the part where it suffers the most is the scene when the long-haired guy is talking to the main girl in the freezer. Just the lines come off really stiff and really unnatural, and for that we had to discount points. The editing was also good. Sound was also good. How is it that all these things so far were good? This is supposed to be bad movies. Okay, music also, the music was good. Like, it didn't have what I've said so many times already, that cheap library type music where it's like you go into like a sound or music library that's available for productions and things like that, and you pay like $10 or whatever, and then a month, and then you get music that's listed there for royalty free. And so the thing is that that's fine. Like you can do that definitely for sure, but there are so many resources and things to draw from. And for some reason, people that do these horror short movies, they all choose the worst music. They all choose 99-cent type music. They choose budget Elton John. They choose budget Hans Zimmer. It sounds cheap and it sounds dumb and it throws you out from the experience. But here it was not. Here it was good. Here it matched. It was there when it was appropriate. It crescendoed when it needed to. It was there when you needed it, and it was in the background when you didn't. And so it was good. And special effects, special effects were good. This is a low budget movie, and it was good. Like, I don't know how they did that for cheap, because when you're on a budget, you can't do anything good looking. I mean, you can, but it's harder to do things good looking. I don't know how they did it, but it looked good. The story overall was pretty good, and especially for being a short film. But also, where I think it suffers, as once again with the long-haired guy, because even though at the end he was helping the two other girl characters, the cliche of like the asshole guy, it's been used a lot, and I feel like it does drag the movie down a little bit. I feel like it could have been a little bit different. They could have used that same angle, I suppose, just done it in a way where it's a little bit different. We haven't seen it already before, so we have to discount points there. Tone, again, a lot of these movies suffer from tone jumping all over the place, but this tone was really solid. It wasn't comedic, it wasn't anything else. It was horror / suspense, and that's what it was. It didn't try to do anything else. It didn't try to throw jokes at you or weird ass faces or things like that. No, it's just horror, and that's it. People getting mutilated by Kart, and that's where you get. The pacing was pretty good for 15 minutes or around there. It didn't move too fast, it didn't move too slowly, it didn't drag. It seems like it was just right. And so now the mise en scène, everything that's on the screen that we see, lighting, the actors, the cinematography, costumes, all that stuff like that. The lighting was good. It didn't have that nasty yellow that I was talking about. It was good. I like that bluish tint. It works well. The cinematography also was good. Like, these people knew what they were doing. This movie is not bad. You would think by a thing called Killer Kart that it'd be a piece of crap, but it's not. The costumes, yeah, they were fine. I mean, again, it's just employee costumes, nothing out of the ordinary, but that's fine. Nobody was wearing a chicken costume or anything like that. It was fine. Props, the cart, I guess I will count as a prop. It was good. She had that chainsaw tool or whatever, and that was fine. And the stick, but it was fine. It was nothing out of the ordinary. It's supposed to be ordinary. It's a grocery store. You don't want a flamethrower. You don't want a bulldozer. You want regular old tools you'll find in the grocery store. A meat cutter, a rake, whatever. The setting was good. And so the setting was interesting. The grocery store setting, I thought was pretty good. I'm sure maybe that's been done before. I think it was good. There's something about being in a place late at night when there's nobody there. And so I used to work before at the mall. I'm only active at night, and so I used to work at the mall, and so I used to set up these displays and things like that, all that. And so there's something very interesting and creepy, which I love, about being in a place where in the daytime it's populated, but at night there's nobody there, and it's a kind of eeriness that is so intriguing. And so you're there working at night, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and there's nobody around. Perfect environment to have all kinds of things like this happening. Hey, bring on the goblins and the ghosts, but bring on all these killer objects and things like that. Those kinds of things would definitely show up in after-hour places like this. So the grocery store setting after hours, I thought was very good. And the acting was good. However, the guy's acting was a little diuretic, so we have to discount from there because it was no está muy bueno, tú sabes. And the makeup, could have been a little bit better. The blood looked a little, tú sabes, not very good. This blood looked like it was Spirit Halloween blood, and so it didn't really look that real. But this movie has so many other positives. We do discount from there because it could have been better. That's the way it is, I guess. And the fun factor, it was great. I want to see all the other ones. And so it's like when she crushed the other cart, that was the end of that cart. Yeah, I'm guess. But there's all these other carts, so it's like there's a whole universe of carts that are waiting to go on rampages. And so what about them? We need to know what happened to them. And is it all the carts throughout the whole world, in Russia and Asia and Mexico and all carts everywhere, or only carts in that city? And why are those carts are the ones that are evil? And why did they choose today to come to life? So all these things have to be answered. Whoever made this movie, we need the second one and the third one, and however you want to make. Well, I need to know these things. This is very important. So yeah, that's Killer Cart. To my surprise, it's not gorilla vomit. Even though most of these movies I review are bad movies, sometimes a gem comes up out of nowhere that's not horrible. As long as it has the camp factor. Again, the shopping cart. If it was just some random guy massacring people, it would have been a good horror movie. It could have been just a solid, good horror movie. But the camp factor is what makes it bad. Even though it's not bad, technically speaking, like a technical standpoint, the camp factor is all we need. If we just had camp factor and we have a good movie, then it still qualifies to be reviewed here. Discounted all the points, the final score will be presented here. Usually we rate from 0 to -10, but since we didn't have enough negatives or things to discount to give an accurate rating, and because the movie overall is pretty good, we revert to the traditional 0 to 10 rating. We only do this when the movie has more positive qualities than negative. So we are discounting from 10. We are discounting originality, direction, writing, story, acting, and makeup effects. We are discounting from the quality factor, which will leave us with 1.5 points there, and the fun factor, which will also leave us with 1.5 points. Although the quality and fun factors were good, there were other movies that did these things better. The movie was a good balance of camp, bad, and good. While it was not a masterpiece or a Christopher Nolan epic, it was a good solid film, and for the most part, well made and fun. So the total score will be positive 6.5. So yeah, that was Killer Cart. I liked it a whole lot. Definitely go check it out. It's one of the best short horror films that I've seen. No wonder it has, I don't know how many millions of views on YouTube. It was very good. I wasn't expecting that. How can you expect anything good from Killer Cart? But hey. And so yeah, so that was Killer Cart. Definitely go check it out. I had a good time. Well, I guess that's it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you don't encounter any carts out there. If you do, don't call me because I'm retired. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.